Hi, welcome to this little video about training track I did with Rye on the 21st of September. This is just a chart, a map of the track. It's a curving serpentine track with transitions on and off of asphalt and concrete. So here's Rye at 8 months, and we're just coming up to the start flag. I've worked with him just to stay calm and quiet as we put the harness on. I come up to the start flag area with the harness over my shoulder, and then I just ask him for a stand. And I put the harness on. When he was younger, I would feed him during this process for giving me a nice stand. I go ahead and clip his harness on and allow him to approach the start flag, where he finds his article. And I let him determine what direction the track goes first. You see him looking down the direction. He's chosen the direction already. Then I ask him for his indication. He indicates the article. I pick up the article and let him start. But he already knows what direction he's going to go when he gets up. And I do usually use a little bit of dried food on these tracks. In the summer, the dried food doesn't get full of bees and other things so soon. So he gets a reward fairly early on for giving me a nice start. So this is a curving track, a serpentine. You can see the small pink flags. This is a large arc that goes around to the left. This was about 9:30 in the morning. There was still some dew on the grass, a lot of leaves down from the trees. This is fairly recently mowed grass. And what I like about this is he's very steady, very methodical. He is finding the occasional food reward again to encourage his attention to every footstep. So you can see now I've started the serpentine in the reverse direction. This tract was walked once to put in the flags and a second time to place articles and food, and then aged about an hour and a half. He's about to find an article here. Now he's stopping, but he's not offering me much of an indication, so I'm reminding him. I've focused much more recently, as you'll see in this video, on interest in the track scent itself, and right now I am working on brushing up his article indications. So I give him some food rewards. There's never any food at the articles. I keep food for articles in my bag, and I reward him for stopping and indicating the article. I pick up the article, and I want him to get up from the article with his nose down, already engaged with the track when he begins to stand up. That was a nice restart. The track straightens out here and heads out across this asphalt parking lot. What I'm working on with him now are almost seamless transitions from grass onto asphalt. Found a little treat there. And onto grass. And in this training track, he has 5 transitions on and off, and they all are looking really good right now. So he's back on grass. This track now arcs around to the right. I like using a lot of curving tracks. Anytime he picks up his head and moves forward, when his feet are busy and his nose is not, he's off the track. That's why I like the curved tracks. He's going to find... Coming up, he'll find another little article. Again, here's the transition from grass, asphalt, grass. Here I left him a little tiny paper cup crumpled up with a little piece of food in it. He's just realized it's there. He's not sure he wants to stop for it. He comes back. Yes, good dog. I ask him what he found. And he gives me an indication. Good job. Feed him his reward. Ask him to track again. There you go. So again, off the grass, on a semi-diagonal crossing of an asphalt piece of parking lot, up over a curb and over the concrete. Then back across gravel and onto grass. What you're not seeing in here is great big SUVs were pulling up one after another because the local conservation officers were all meeting there in that pavilion, what you can see coming up. So he was really being very good considering there's an awful lot going on at the park right now. So we're about to cross this gravel walkway onto grass and head into the pavilion, which is a concrete floor. And I gave him a hard surface turn to the left inside the pavilion down the walkway that you can see to the left of the screen. He gave me a nice indication, loss of scent, when he picked up his head. Came around the other side of that column and refound the track on the walkway. There's a right-hand turn here at the sidewalk. He goes by it a bit, over the edge of the curb, discovers it's not there, picks up the track quite nicely, and you can see it in the grass ahead of us, a little bit of a dark line. So that was a second hard surface turn. Found something for him, a little reward there, a little article. So right now, we're getting a nice stop with the articles, but I have to remind him of his down. I've been recently going back in and training my article indications. I train them separately from the tracking. Now there, he got up before I had released him, and I'm asking him to lay back down again and wait for me. Good boy. Then I say, okay, now it's time to track. And he gets right back to work. You can see that next little pink flag is a left turn right in front of that tree. Very nicely done. And in this area, we're heading out between a pond, which you can see to the right, and the parking area on the left. These narrow areas like this where there's ponds and birds and whatnot can be kind of tricky for dogs. And the water can draw scent down to it and pull them off the track toward the water. He did a nice job there. So this track goes in a straight line for about 100 yards here. And then it goes into a series of 3 90-degree zigzag turns. He's working a little swale right here where there's a dip in the ground. He's coming to the first of the zigzag turns here. There's the left. And these turns are only about 15 yards apart. Here comes the right. Gave me a little searching there. Got the right. Here comes, I got a little reward right there. You can see it, a little tiny flag ahead of him there. Here's going to be your left turn. I don't worry too much about the flags. If they see the flags at all, it's they bought them with the top of their head. Their nose is so deep in the ground that they never see the flags. He's heading into the final article here. I'm guessing this track overall was maybe 600 yards or so. He's at his final article. He always stops. But then I do come up and insist on his down. Good boy. And so that was the end of his training track for that day. And I was happy with the transitions and with the speed at which he was working. So we're hoping for good luck at our TD test next weekend.